might be wondering, what is the best bread to buy for weight loss? Well, I've got the shocking answer coming up next, so stay tuned. In this video, I'm going to talk about which breads are good for weight loss and which aren't. Then I'll tell you which bread is best for weight loss. And last, I'll reveal how to lose your weight faster and more safely than you can while eating bread. Okay, at first when I saw that we were going to be doing a video on this, I was like, what? Are you serious? When I do videos on the most Googled topics within my field, and that way I know people are doing the search on them. And at first, I was like, oh, are you serious? People are, and then I was like, well, wait a minute, Cristy. Yeah, I love bread like the next guy does. And so I totally understand why you're Googling this, and I'm really happy that you clicked on this video and you gave me a chance to explain my side of this before you move on to the next video. So thank you for clicking on this, and let's get into the bread. Okay. So you're trying to lose weight and wondering which bread is the best for weight loss. I can tell you right now, mainstream breads are terrible for weight loss. If that surprises you, well, I get why. People losing weight think they need healthy whole grains. And you probably think healthy whole grains are healthier, right? Well, let's talk about why it is that we think healthy whole grains are healthy. In the 1950s, a fish biologist named Ansel Keys hypothesized that fat was responsible for heart disease. This guy was not a doctor or a nutritionist. He was charismatic and actually quite the bully, history tells us. Keys studied 21 countries looking for proof that fat intake causes heart disease. He cherry-picked the 7 countries that supposedly proved his hypothesis. He cared more about being right than about the actual science. In the late 70s, our government passed dietary guidelines that reduced fat intake and increased grains. That's when our country's weight and disease problems really took off. It's also when the food industry started coming out with these low-fat versions of food and more processed foods. When you remove the fat from food, it's absolutely disgusting. It tastes like cardboard. Well, the food industry is not stupid, and so they added sugar to the food to make it palatable. Sugar is why we're fat. So are the foods that turn to sugar in your bloodstream, like grains, rice, starchy vegetables, and most fruit. Grains are heavily subsidized. We overproduce them in this country. We produce enough grains each year to feed 10 billion people. Well, we have 7.5 billion people on this planet. What are we doing with all these extra grains? We have too many grains. So we put them in makeup, we put them in baby food, we put them in supplements, we put them in shampoo. We put them everywhere. It's used as a filler, it's used as a thickener. Our systems are so oversaturated with grains that our bodies now produce antibodies to fight the side effects of too much exposure to grains. Factory farming practices growing all these grains strip our soil of nutrients. So before I go to my next point about bread and grains, I want to hear from you. Comment below and tell me, what did you used to think about healthy whole grains, or the best bread to eat for weight loss, or, well, it's got a lot of fiber. I mean, I used to think it too. Believe me, I used to think it too. I'm not judging you. Comment below. Tell me what you used to think, or tell me what you still do think. Look, I don't want to demonize grains, but they're not what they once were. They're packed with calories, they're nutritionally empty, they contain no usable fiber, they spike the blood sugar in the same way regular sugar does. They trigger food cravings, making you eat more calories than you would without them. They change the architecture of our brain over time because they alter neurotransmitter levels. Most people are intolerant of certain grains, which means that if they eat them, they trigger an immune response causing inflammation all over their body. They increase the risk of diabetes too, if eaten frequently. If you're looking to lose weight, grains are one of the worst things that you can eat. There are grain-free versions of bread out there, like flax bread and cloud bread. You can also skip the bread entirely and just have a naked burger, or use lettuce or outer aisle sandwich thins. I've linked those up below. They're a great alternative to bread, and plus you get a discount by using the discount code, so check those guys out. A simple trick is to replace refined grains with fibrous carbs in meals. Use leafy greens instead of bread. Try making pasta noodles, also known as zoodles, out of winter squash or the insides of spaghetti squash or zucchini spirals. Avoid whole wheat and corn. Grains are calorie rich and many cause a very large insulin response. Modern day whole grains have been bred to produce high yields that are not healthy. Whole grains have nothing on the majority of vegetables, fruit, and protein when it comes to nutrient density. The average Westerner gets 60% of their calories from rice, corn, wheat, and potatoes. I mean, it's not a surprise that diabetes and obesity are skyrocketing. Our digestive systems are simply not able to cope with this effectively. If you want to lose weight, the fastest and the safest way is to eat real food, drink water, and sleep. Avoid grains so you aren't spiking your insulin and feeding inflammation, both of which not only slow weight loss, but they cause weight gain when it's ongoing. I believe that the food pyramid is the biggest government screw up in the history of our government because they suggest that we need 9 to 11 servings of grain a day. And look, I fell for it like everybody else did, but that's when you can see that obesity and disease were skyrocketed in this country. It's awful. I was vegan from September 07 to September 08. Not for any ethical reasons, just because I wanted to try it out and see it for myself what it was like. For an entire year, I did not eat any animal products at all. Well, when you take animal products out of the picture, you're not left with a whole lot of options. So I used grains to supplement. I ate grains all the time. Everything from rice to oatmeal to pasta. I mean, it was constant. It was always for every meal. And I was still fighting as a professional boxer at this time. Well, I had one of my biggest fights at Madison Square Garden, and when they came to get me out of my dressing room for the co-main event, I was actually falling asleep on my dressing room floor. I just didn't have the nutrients that I needed when I took the animal products out of my diet and added in so many grains. I lost that fight at Madison Square Garden. I'm not saying it was because I was vegan. The girl was a good fighter. I'm just saying that I should have been falling asleep on one of the biggest nights of my life. I should have been just jacked up and energetic and excited. Look, at 45 years old, being grain-free and having no bread whatsoever in my diet, I feel better now than when I was 25 years old. I look better too, and I'm at a better weight now than I've ever been in my life. So truly, trying to do the workaround with the bread, trying to find a bread that you can eat during weight loss, just, you know what? I say just don't do it. Root it out of your diet. Now, of course, the outer aisle sandwich thins are a good alternative if you're wanting to make a homemade pizza or if you're wanting to make a sandwich, especially for your kids. It's only made with 4 ingredients, so that's fine. That's a Cristy approved item. But I see people so many times really try to skirt around this rule. And I don't know about you, but whenever I eat grains, whenever I eat bread, my old injuries start to hurt because yeah, it does cause inflammation in your body. We're gonna talk about carbs, we're gonna talk about grains, we're gonna talk about all that stuff in our 10-pound takedown challenge. So if you are wanting to learn more, learning and unlearning, I would suggest you join the next challenge. I've got it linked up below. Try it out, give me 30 days to prove it to you. If you don't like it, go back to your old ways of Dave's Killer Bread or Wonder Bread or whatever the heck you ate. But at least try it my way for 30 days, okay? I'll see you on the challenge and I'll see you on the next video. I can tell you right now, when you remove the food from fat, oop, that's not right. Our digestive system simply, oop,